Sure. Alright, here they go.
There we go. Excuse me, princess.
The
Alright, so
classic.
here's what I like doing. Whenever an NPC or say a boss has an item, I like to come up with the logic, the reason between why that character has that item. So we're gonna have a little fun tonight and try to talk about that. Like for instance, I mean earlier in the race previous to this, Zora had the mirror, and I'm thinking to myself, what does a fish need a mirror for? You can just check his reflection on the surface of the water. I mean, the fact that he made Link pay 500 rupees for it is a ripoff, because honestly, Zora really was just trying to get that off his fins.
So, but remember, it's called Your Face for Sale in the credits screen. So it's not just any old mirror. It specifically has Link's face, like, plastered on it.
That's weird, man. Alright, so I already have 4 bombs on Dark Magician and on Alucard, so did they get a bomb expansion in Link's house and then 3 bombs in the chest, or did they get a drop?
Yeah, they got, what? They got 3 bombs. Somewhere.
They could have gotten that spicy 4 bomb drop.
Wait, is that really a thing?
Is it?
Yeah, there's 1, 4, and 8. Or the 3 kinds of bomb drops you can get from enemies.
Interesting.
You know, I played this enough, you think I would know that, but I see the 8 and the 1.
Yeah, in vanilla, if you actually die in Ice Palace after the first big Stalfos room, you're guaranteed at least a 4 drop the second trip. Unfortunately, not the case in Randomizer, but...
You know, Zelda has a lot of, like, interesting logic in the vanilla game. There's multiple chests that can have the same exact item, just
like
in case you don't pick it up the first time. Yeah, lantern, boomerang.
Yeah. The lamp can be in all 3 of the chests that you'll encounter pre-Zelda, except for the one that has blue boomerang, obviously. And then whichever one you open, the other 2 chests will have blue rubies in it.
Oh, nice setup against that blue guard. Got the both keys, double vision.
So they won't have to farm very much with these bomb counts. They should be set through Kakariko.
Yeah, having 4 is pretty good. The likelihood that they're going to get a bomb chest in Kakariko and Southern Light World is pretty high, and you only need 6 maximum if you check absolutely everything that needs a bomb. So they're pretty good right now.
Alan forgets to pick up the big key. Oh no!
Ooh,
Dark Magician.
That is a rough death, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, all the way back to the beginning of the castle.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had died just after that point, he actually starts in the cell with Zelda, if you will. But
So that is a sizable time loss for Dark Magician, but still early game. Routing can make a big difference. It's definitely not over. Nowhere even close over.
Still anybody's game.
fortunately, he won't have to open the chest or farm the keys on his second time through. So save a little bit of time on his run back.
We'll see if he remembers and doesn't let muscle memory get the best of him.
Oh yeah, that always happens to me when the map is in Sanctuary.
Like last night.
Yep.
Or if you you don't need the key from the Gibdo at the end of Skullwoods or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And you just go and kill him and you're like, oh wait, I have 4 keys now, that's nice.
Yeah, that palace has a lot of joke rooms, so a lot of keys that if you know the route through it, don't really have to use.
Alright, so Alucard gonna enter in the sewer soon. There's 1 chest coming up. He already has a small key for this section, so it could be anything. Dark Magician about to pick up Zelda. Again.
Even be a map.
Chet, wasn't there something in earlier versions of the randomizer where they found out they couldn't give you a sword upgrade and escape?
I don't remember that part. Like when they were testing the V7 logic?
Yeah, I think Karkat had mentioned something about, and back when they had the open Plandos where you just swapped the items around, there was like a little warning against putting a sword upgrade in escape.
I think it was to prevent people from possibly going to Agahnim before escape was done, because that broke the lumberjack sequence.
Does it? Oh, really? Does it make the lumberjack item non-gettable?
Yeah, it would just make the lumberjack sequence not actually advance after you kill Agahnim.
Ah.
I don't know. I don't exactly know why, but something with not clearing the rain state before killing Agahnim would just mess with the game.
I remember a specific plando where you get flute in escape, and I just decided not to take Zelda home. There's the map, so Alucard will have to check the sanctuary chest.
That might have been the Super Scudge plando where he put the activated flute in the end of the sewer. Yeah, that was a good one.
It was.
I watched it happen.
In fact, I ended up walking all over. So if you don't return Zelda, the game stays in rain state, so a lot of things are bugged out. And I was able to sneak into Desert Palace because the statues don't spawn out front.
Yep.
And I decided I actually went to fight Agahnim, so I had Zelda following me while Agahnim was zapping Zelda in the secret chamber.
Nice.
In Aga Tower. And then after defeating Agahnim 1, it takes off the rain state, so you're not even able to return Zelda anymore. So I was stuck with Zelda following me around, and I tried a couple things. First, I went into Thieves Town. Alucard's gonna pull on the tree here. I'll get back to that in a second.
Those bombs.
I was curious, Andy, since you're the Link to the Past expert here, if you could explain the tree pools a little bit. And I understand that there are different factors, like how many enemies you kill and how many times you get hit, but is that over the scope of since the last time you reset?
Either a hard reset or the last time you pulled to reset the counter. So basically, Game Sheet Chat keeps track of how many enemies you've killed and whether you've taken damage or not. It doesn't matter really how many times you've taken damage, just whether you actually have or not. And there's 3 different items you can pull from the tree. One is possible with 1 kill and no damage. The other one's possible with either 3 kills and no damage, or 4 kills and taken damage, and the other one is 4 kills at least and no damage.
So you're basically guaranteed to get 4 kills and escape, so it's whether or not you take damage, whether you get the 2nd or 3rd drop.
Pretty much, and then it's pretty easy to farm 1 kill to get the 2nd tree pull, like before you go and check the little thieves hideout item.
Even more bombs in the forest for Alucard, but he doesn't need them. And I believe it was a bomb expansion at the woodcutter item.
Yeah, they don't really. So far, we're not sure if Agnim's going to be killed this seed. His chances are looking pretty good to surviving for a bit.
Dark Magician gonna take the same route and check the lumberjack item. So anyway, I went into Thieves Town with Zelda following me, and I thought maybe if I take Zelda to the boss room, she'll turn into blind, right? And well, she didn't. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go get the maiden out of the jail cell. But the maiden didn't spawn because I had Zelda following me. So what ended up actually happening is I was able to get it fixed. What I had to do is go over toward the hedge maze by Palace of Darkness, and when you walk into the hedges where Kiki spawns, it actually Kiki just replaced Zelda. So or Zelda turned into Kiki, however you want to look at it.
Can you believe Zelda's actually a monkey?
Man, I was watching that and Dark Magician gonna go play the chess game for some rupees? Interesting.
Yeah. And did Alucard grab Mirror in the Steve's Town?
Apparently, people are hype about that. I was watching what Dark Magician was doing.
Hopefully, he realizes he has it.
There's 3 of us. You figure one of us would have caught that one.
Oh wow! So the early pull is 1 bombs, and the middle pull is 4 bombs. That's interesting. Or 8 bombs. That's interesting.
Bombs are nice. I prefer like 1 pull being bombs and the other being rupees. That'd be, I think, the best.
Ether medallion from the bottle vendor. Now, if
that could be
both if both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire are required, remember there's a 55% chance that ether could be necessary.
Mirror Shield. What the heck is going on here?
Looks like the other pull is 20 rupees. So the pulls of the trees are pretty solid this time around.
Uh-oh.
Dark Magician
That he looks like he might have reset by mistake. Maybe that was.
Oh no!
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, he's exclaiming in the SRL chat. I think that was an accidental reset.
That is.
Yeah, maybe we should reach out to. I don't know if Alucard wants to hold up.
I don't know. He's not typing anything else in SRL.
Yeah, we'll leave it up to Mythical. He's in the SRL chat right now. Mythical and well, Feasel. I don't think Feasel's really directly involved with the tournament other than the streaming, but Mythical is an admin in the tournament. We'll see if he wants to mention that Dark Magician's console reset and he went back to the Wishing Well or the secret passage.
I'm curious if it's like a hardware issue or if he just accidentally somehow hit reset on his console.
It was weird because
Andy knows all about that.
Well, mine was because my power cable was like half plugged into my SNES.
Oh man!
Just like reset.
I was talking about you resetting other people's consoles.
Oh yeah, that one actually wasn't even me. We did the science.
Twitch chat begs to differ.
Analyzed the video, and my good buddy Patty, stomping his feet about a quarter second after I did, was the one who reset the console. Although consoles shouldn't ever be placed on hard floor in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh, Alucard does not have mirror. He has mirror shield. And
that's what people were talking about.
If he had mirror, he ought to have used it there.
Like someone else in this chat, right, Cross?
Alright, so it looks like the Dark Magician reset was intentional.
Oh, he was trying to reset to warp back to Sanctuary, possibly. So yeah, there was a second stomper on the grassy knoll.
Alright, so Dark Magician is saying he made a mistake and they're going to continue playing.
Alucard offered to start a new seed over, and Dark Magician said no, it was his mistake, let's keep going. So
that's good at Alu.
I've actually done that myself, coming out of Zora's domain, because I was greedy and I wanted my 500 rupees back. And I didn't realize it had been a while since I saved.
It's not necessarily a terrible decision to do that, but as long as you saved a little.
Wow, that was a really good left side bomb for Alucard. Unfortunately, the right one not connecting. With sword beams, I'd probably just opt to not throw a bomb and just sword beam both of them. It's just two sword beams to kill. But with 15 bombs, and he did get a nice twofer.
And swag strats.
And swag strats. You can actually walk across the top of those pits if you're very careful.
Oh really? I thought you could only walk across the bottom.
You can walk across the bottom just by holding down in whatever direction you're walking, but the top ones are a little more finicky, and you have to like rhythmically tap up, but not actually make contact with the upper wall.
So pseudo hovering.
Yeah, pseudo hovering essentially. It's not anywhere near as taxing. It's just you have to kind of you're running against the edge, about to fall, and you just tap the opposite direction to not fall over and over again.
Alucard actually, it looks like he did offer to restart with fresh new seed, but Dark Magician declined. He wants to move forward with this race. So
Alu looking okay with hearts at this early in the game. Not really, doesn't really have any progression items yet though. Still have plenty of things over at Eastern that he could check, but unless he fake flippers, unless he fake flippers, he's pretty much stuck with Eastern and the cave over at Desert.
Yeah, I believe you can do fake flippers. You can do a fake flippers from the north side of Lake Hylia, but it's a lot more. It's a little harder to set up. I don't actually know how to do it.
You cannot actually do it from north side of Lake Hylia. You can do it leaving the hobo, but that is more difficult, and you can actually transition before you hit the water.
Wait, so you don't have to save quit out of hobo?
You don't have to, no.
I did not know that. That's good information.
It's a lot faster though, isn't it?
Probably.
Unless you want
Unless
to go.
I would say it would be worth fake flippering out of Hobo if you had Glove and you were going to head into Eastern Palace. Other than that, maybe not so much. So if you have Glove, you can go into Eastern Palace on the far right ramp.
So Alu picking up his first bottle over at Sahasrara, which means it unlocks the Sick Kid now as a potential item.
Yep, it's just one of those fringe items he's going to have to decide whether or not to check before facing Agahnim.
So it looks like Dark Magician is going to just go straight to the south. He was already on his way over to Kakariko, and I guess he's just going to try to like sort of catch up to Alu. And he hasn't gotten anything critical on Kakariko, so this might help catch him up a little bit, especially since he's going to get a bottle if he goes to Eastern first.
Yeah, that'll save him a trip. Alucard flawlessly navigating the bowling room.
There's 2 to 3 items, unique items that Alucard can access in Eastern, and when his options are limited, pretty much Desert, Cave, and the Sick Kid, 2 items in here isn't a bad move.
So we already got 3 crystals in Light World then?
Yep. I think Crystal 5 was Desert, but I'm not entirely certain.
Oh, we got fish strats from Dark Magician here.
What? What is even going on?
Maybe this is how he does fake flippers. Maybe he borrows them from the fish.
Can't quite say I've ever seen this happen before, honestly.
I don't really think it's ever worth hitting Recite. I guess hitting Recite is faster, but if you're not sure when the last time you saved was, I think it's a risky play.
I'll say that resetting is not faster if you play on a flash cart. I mean,
flash cart doesn't really matter too much because you have to hold down the reset button for like 3 seconds to actually reset the flash cart. If you just tap it, it'll just reset the game like normal.
well, with a Super Everdrive, I mean, just at least the way my settings are, if you hit reset, it goes back to the menu. But you can just push start, so it's really only like a second. Really, it's the title screen that's gonna get you if you hit reset in the game.
Yeah, you can't just mash through the Nintendo logo, unfortunately.
So it's not even as cool as the Rareware logo.
Nothing good so far for Alu over at Eastern. He has one more chest to check, and then he's out of here. Then it's decision time: Desert, Sick Kid, or Agahnim.
Yeah, he'll be able to get 1 item from Aegina's cave and be able to at least check the ledge and see if it's required. Because the desert.
It's just a shame that they're all sort of out of the way. So whichever choice he makes, he better hope it pays off, you know?
Yeah, Mirror Shield for Dark Magician now.
Oh, arrow upgrade.
Have we gotten a look at the maps yet?
Yeah, the light world's all crystals.
Nice.
Stoops,
That's always.
See. They don't have any items yet, though. Dark Magician.
I would expect more.
Okay, Dark Magician's still in Kakariko Village. He may
Probably going back.
he may end up having to get the Master Sword from the race game like Alucard did. So if Aghannim's required, then that Master Sword that Alucard picked up from the race game's clutch.
He picked up the bottle, though, didn't he? Oh, no, he didn't go to Eastern yet. Never.
Picking up all the rupees he can.
Sick Kid with the bow!
Well, Alucard... Is there 1 item left in Eastern Palace?
There's 1 item, and it's a crystal dungeon.
Yeah, so... looks like he's gonna head over there now. Well, actually, he could go to Swamp or Eastern from here.
So the way the seed generated is that it expected the runners to go to behind Sahasrara to get the bottle, come back to the Sick Kid, get the bow, and then go maybe go back to Eastern if it drops something good.
So you gotta wonder, why does that Sick Kid have the bow, right? I mean, You know, if he's trying to catch bugs, I think maybe he was trying to shoot them down instead of catch them with a net.
And maybe bugs in Hyrule are bigger than you've ever imagined, and you need a bow instead of a net.
I mean, I've seen Mothula, so it's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's too bad if the sick kid ended up trying to fight Mothula with a bow, it would do absolutely nothing.
Or maybe since he can't get out of bed, he like it's like old school email. You know, you just if he has his homework that he has to do for school, if he's homesick, he could just shoot his homework back over to the school with the bow.
Well, not anymore. Should be able to catch Mothula in a bottle. Imagine that. Forget the magic bee. Mothula in a bottle. Alright, so Dark Magician's gonna pick up his Master Sword. Alu almost at the second half of Eastern.
Alright, so Dark Magician getting the Master Sword, and if he goes straight to Agahnim with that, he may find himself in a step ahead of Alucard in that regard, depending on whether or not the next progression item
He's going there.
here.
So this will be interesting if this is actually required. We'll have to see what Alu picks up from the Armos Knights. So there's a chance of an item there, or over here. Oh, that's a tree. I didn't realize that was a tree you could pull.
Mm-hmm. That's a tree that is pre-Agahnim only, as well as the one near the Death
But that's
Mountain
after
entrance.
escape, right?
Yeah, you can only pull it after escape.
Oh, where's he going?
He's farming.
He
He's gonna pull the tree again.
I didn't even know that was a pull tree. I'm not talking chickens and turkeys.
Oh gosh, here it goes. Alright, and the blue rupee for Alu.
Wow, so Dark Magician, unbeknownst to him, is right where he wants to be.
Although having the bow, I think could help him in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
not
definitely
really.
nice for Ganon's tower. It's obviously good for Ganon's tower, but having the bow in Agahnim tower is pretty good. Even I think just having the boomerang is really good.
Alright, so looks like Alu is also going to make his way up to Agahnim. Dark Magician has a slight lead on that, however, he still has to do Eastern.
Yeah, but if he's able to put off Easter until he's doing pod and mirror over there, then that's a little bit of time he'll gain back.
Especially if he gets a bottle elsewhere and can get that
Going
bow.
for the Oko strats in the first room in Aga Tower.
Yeah, Aga Tower is, especially with the items that Dark Magician has, the only other option he really has that's, not even fast really, is to Ether. That doesn't even kill enemies. It just
He's
freezes
got
them.
Blue Cane.
Yeah, but
Because that's a choice.
he also has the Master Sword, which might do a little more damage than the Blue Cane. But Master Sword,
Then I did it
Aga
wrong in my
Tower,
race.
Master Sword without boots or anything else can make the tower a little tricky.
Yeah, and it's pretty close to the gear that you have in Vanilla. Dark Magician would have one more heart, and he would have boots, like I said, but other than that, it's boomerang strats.
So I actually got a lot of practice doing this without boots, just from V6. I felt like every time we had a seed where Agahnim was required, they're not going to give you boots early. So it's a shame. It's really nice when you actually do have the boots to do this dungeon, though.
I always end up bonking in the dark room and alerting all the guards. Uh-oh.
Oh, careful.
He's got 2 hearts in the next room. So he wants to be real careful till he,
Under which pots, cross? Can you tell?
The middle one on the right and the left bottom, like on the two on the left, the bottom one. Oh, he bypasses them.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The boomerang
Alright.
on the comeback saving his life.
We have Oko
Fortunately, he's
strats.
got a shield. If he just boomerangs these guards, he should be good to go. I mean, Aghanim's just a glorified cutscene, really. He really came pretty close to that ledge. That was a straight Varus level noise, I think.
Oh!
Oh no!
But Alu has a fairy.
Alucard does have a fairy.
He did
I
not.
thought
Oko.
that we marked the I thought that he actually had a G and we marked the fairy on the tracker.
Nope.
So now Alucard doesn't need to pick up all the skulls to find those 2 hearts. Alright, so really all he has to do is, yeah, just do that. Just do a spin attack close to when he releases his ball. And then on the 5th round, make sure that he stands out of the way of the lightning. But it's pretty well telegraphed even if he isn't keeping count. Agahnim will always go to the top middle, and he'll
won't
always face
you.
down.
Yeah.
Yep, he knows.
So they're clicking in the audio. I don't know. Constant scratches in stream audio. Alright, so let's see if killing Agahnim was worth it.
I mean, it has to be, right? I don't want this to be Moon Pearl. I want it to be like Glove and it makes him go up to Death Mountain or like Book. I want it to be Book.
I mean, there was still the Desert Cave as a potential location, so this was not guaranteed to be the item.
Oh, that's
Well,
right.
it
And
looks
look,
like
there
it
is
is.
Book.
There's Buck, yep.
Yeah,
literally
so he'll be
it's
able
all
to combo Aginus Cave or Genus Cave or.
So for Dark Magician, he's able to, like do Desert at the same time. What? That's a poultry
I did
too?
not know that was poultry.
Wow.
This is
I need
showing
to
off
learn
all
this.
strats. I need to learn those fish strats, man.
You can also pull that middle statue that Dark Magician just tried pulling if Agahnim is already dead.
So if there's a book on the top of a pyramid, it's probably like a hieroglyph book, right? Actually, I guess the language
Because
of
they
the
put them in
ancients is-
books.
They invented paper, dude.
Papyrus.
When are you gonna play Undertale?
Alright, Dark Magician gonna do some fake flippering.
Yeah, he gets the more difficult setup on the second try. Pretty nice. I think that's about the same time as the slower setup. And he did farm up his rupees, so maybe he'll get over to Zora.
So I feel like Dark Magician's taking a lot of risky strats just to try to make up for time. Looks like he's gonna go right to Zora since he was farming his rupees earlier.
Not even gonna check the fugitive under the bridge. Say hi to the desert octopus.
Fugitive. He's the friend. They're buddies.
I mean, Link is also a fugitive. Don't you read the signs in the town?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
That say Vitorp was here?
You always get told on.
Yeah, 10 arrows on the ledge, so he will not have to come back once he finds flippers. And Alucard gonna combo Genus Cave, probably head over to Desert after this.
What?
The glove, what?
Oh no.
I mean, Desert will not be, he will not be able to finish Desert without a lantern / fire rod, and he probably won't be able to finish it without boots.
But
He
here's
can at
the
least
thing.
peek at the item on the ledge.
The thing is, Agahnim might not have been required, depending on what they find up at like Death Mountain, or well, okay, Zora's crap, but depending on what they find up on the first part of Death Mountain, and a shovel on the ledge.
What a troll!
I'm starting to think Sahasra might not have been required for the seed, but they both did it, so they're on even footing at least.
So Alucard, if there's a key in the first small chest, he could potentially get 2 items out of Desert, but it's more likely he'll get 1 or 0. remember having to figure all this out. Logicking out possible chests.
Wait, did someone say Sahashala?
You did.
Oops. We don't kill Sahashala.
Oh, it's the map. So no obtainable items inside Desert Palace yet, but who knows? That shovel may hold the key to progression. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say mirror is the digging item, and then
That
each
would be
tablet's got
free.
moon pearl.
That would be too free. I don't think this is a Stoops Jet Seed. The game's not just gonna hand them that.
Desert Octopus making another appearance on Dark Magician's screen there. A minute ago, I was actually looking at the wrong screen.
Dark Magician does bomb the old man. That's funny.
Alright, Alucard headed over back to Stoops Longstooth. Probably gonna dig up that 5 rupees. You know, he's really gonna be hoping for a good item in the digging grove. Because if not, he'll have to be thinking, you know, did my opponent do Agahnim? Is this time that I've lost?
Alright, well, let's see if getting that book was worth.
Do 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 do.
I love the trolls.
Nothing like a fetch quest for a fetch quest.
Wow.
Alright, so what's the next thing that it can be that would be fetchy?
Well, magic powder, but they can't use it yet. So
Yeah, they would need hammer or another combination, or I guess mirror mitt.
it's gonna be sad if Ella just gets a green rupee from the witch's hut.
Though to be perfectly honest, it looks like Dark Magician has the same route in mind. So
Sure. You get book from the pyramid. You better put it to use. If they can get mirror, at least they can take a look at that tablet up on Death Mountain.
So what do you think that shovel was doing out in the desert? Do you think some
Well, that's
excavator
clear.
was just looking for fossils?
Yeah, look at all the sand that you could dig up. And all the
So,
ones just sitting there.
do you think that they used the sand to make the palace and then they just left the shovel out when they were done building it?
Sure. That sounds good. It's all that sandstone.
Oh
Shot,
boy.
very nice.
That's good, and that combined with the glove will give him access to a multitude of items up on Death Mountain.
Best place to go right now? Death Mountain.
And what did Dark Magician grab from Zora? I remember the ledge was just arrows.
So Dark Magician's heading into the second part, which is odd, since he didn't pick up the big key and he doesn't have a source of fire.
He's gonna steal the key and go back and grab the 2 items by the bowling room.
Oh, I hope that's not a soft lock later. The logic should be sound, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think that.
I don't think that can actually result in a soft lock anymore.
Yeah, I think they fixed it because we complained enough, but chat says they need more of you, Andy.
Dang.
He's hovering around here somewhere.
Are you sure that's not N4H?
No.
So if Dark Magician can actually get the big key and a source of fire over here, this could be an advantage.
Big key is on the lamp. He would need boots to get it.
Oh, was it on the... I didn't...
Yeah,
see
he
it
already
on the
checked it.
But ooh, he gets the mirror though.
Man!
That's a pretty solid find.
That actually also makes sense, you know, I mean... Because what's mirror made of? Glass, which is made of sand.
Dark
Taking a
Magician
death
taking
warp.
a death warp.
Yeah, despite having mirror.
That's going to be really useful.
Well, that
Alucard
gives
is
him a
making his
refill.
way up to Death Mountain. And maybe Dark Magician will do the same thing. He has mitts, but he didn't do the fetch quest portion to pick up the hookshot yet. So hopefully he'll do that first, and looks like he will. And that'll actually give him quite an advantage up at Death Mountain, since he can already just go right to Tower Hera, which is a crystal dungeon.
If they happen to find Gold Glove and Moon Pearl up there too, he'll be able to check all the Dark World items and be able to switch freely between the two. But Alucard, I have to imagine, was breathing a sigh of relief when the witch had the hook shot and said, "Okay, Agahnim was an important decision."
Yeah. It's the same. We won't get to see the shovel dash though. Oh, boots from the old man. This seed.
Nice. You gotta wonder why he's so slow walking through that cave.
So look at what the seed's requiring them to do. You have to get the gloves from the desert cave, come up, deliver the old man to get the boots to go back in the desert in order to get the mirror.
Yeah, that's the expected route, but Dark Magician, a little bit of an advantage working his way around that.
Yeah, did he get I missed if Dark Magician went over to get his.
He might have
Hook
dug
shot.
up the mushroom and said, "Forget this." Unfortunately, one of the side effects of fighting Agahnim is that this blue guy is here to ruin your day.
He did not get hookshot, so that's actually going to be a slight disadvantage for Dark Magician up here, depending on what Alucard finds on the right-hand side.
Unless he finds Hammer in Tower of Hera. And there's a gold glove indeed, which, fortunately, Dark Magician will be able to get that gold glove.
I mean, if Alu gets the Moon Pearl over on right-hand side of Death Mountain, he can just go right into the Dark World.
Yep, he'll have to remember to do all of his Light World stuff before going, because there will be no returning.
Okay, we got some boots for Dark Magician. Alu's gonna make his way on over since he doesn't have mirror. He can't go up to Tower Hera. Right-hand side time. Dark Magician carrying the sign up. Is that actually faster?
It is not. Carrying objects that aren't the sign is actually faster. It acts as if you if you place a bomb and you pick it up while you're in the spin speed state and you mash left and right, you'll actually go up the stairs like you're hook dashing with the sword out. But other than that, no. It just makes your sprite turn up and down every other frame.
Bombos for Alucard and Blue Suit.
Bombos could be useful, but nothing immediately progressive.
Yep, we haven't had a look at the Dark World dungeon layout, so... Alright, so this is one of the items Dark Magician can check that Alucard will not be able to get without having Hammer.
Just bombs.
And there's Moon Pearl and
Yep.
flippers.
Wow, Moon Pearl in the same spot that it always is.
Pretty much.
So with the flippers, he'll be able to grab that 10 arrow pickup on Zora's Ledge. Just a compass.
Now,
So he's gonna hope for the big key in this chest or an item. Actually, no, it can't be. It has to be the big key. There's no other possibility, unless it's a small key with the big key in the basement.
Yep,
it couldn't
there it is.
actually be an item because then you wouldn't have anywhere else to go because you'd have a small locked door here. Oh, no
Dark Magician
lantern.
going downstairs without a fire source. He's gonna be a little disheartened after this tile run.
So Red Tunic sitting on top of the hilltop on Death Mountain. Not really
runners
worth
get it.
Probably not. Maybe. I don't know.
Probably not if they already have Blue Suit.
But this is something to keep in mind when you're doing Tower Hera. You have to remember, basement, you need Source of Fire. It's not, completely obvious, especially when you're playing the any percent. Speaking of a Source of Fire, Alucard picks one up.
Dark Magician taking a couple of tiles right to the face. Hopefully he doesn't get sniped by a mold worm in this next room.
If Dark Magician leaves this dungeon, and he just found out he had no Source of Fire, if he leaves this dungeon, he's going to have to do that tower room again.
He doesn't have anywhere else to go in Death Mountain, so that death isn't really significant. It's as good as a save and quit, really, which he needed to do anyway. See if Alucard's practiced up on his push strats here. Nope, he's going to go upstairs and take the drop.
So I think Dark Magician's going to be kicking himself once he finds Hookshot with the mushroom.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going for now.
I don't
Did he
think
not
he,
actually pick
He
up
didn't
the item?
pick the Spectacle Rock Cave. So here's doing the bomb trick I was talking about.
That is
Okay.
pretty fast.
And if you actually, so because Link's sprite is alternating between up and down, which isn't normal, if you're walking up and you throw the bomb while your sprite is facing downwards, the bomb actually just disappears.
He went into the cave. Did he already see that it was?
Oh, here we
Titan's
go.
Net?
Here we go. Pendants, Pod, Ice Palace, and Swamp.
With green and Ice
Ice
Palace.
was green, and Turtle Rock was pendant number 6, or crystal number 6. I didn't see what 5 was.
You said pendant 6.
Yeah, I meant crystal
Wait.
6. Crystal 6.
He pulled a cross, my friend.
Yeah, it happens.
And I think he got Titan bits.
Happens to the best of us.
While I'm working on the tracker here.
Yeah, he's he either has to find the hammer or go to the witch's hut and get the hook shot. Those are the only 2 things open to him right now in order to get that moon pearl. And we haven't seen where hammer is yet, and I find one of the more elusive items in the randomizer.
Yeah. It doesn't actually really unlock anything at the beginning of the game, which is probably why the randomizer algorithm puts it later on. Sometimes even last.
I'm
So
just
Dark Magician
thankful
is
it can't
picking up
be in
his
Turtle.
bottle.
And Alucard
Ooh.
grabbing the flanctuary items.
Is that the new name for that place, Flanctuary?
Oh, he's gonna check King's Tomb. So, well, I always like to comment on what's in King's Tomb too.
Like,
See if
why
it's
is it
something
there?
interesting. Yeah, hang on. Let's see what it is.
A bottle.
Yeah, so Alu getting.
Yeah, I guess the
full
king
access.
didn't know if there would be bathrooms in the afterlife, so he wanted to have a bottle with him.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'd be checking Hype Cave pretty.
Wait, did they get hammer? In
Yeah,
the
he got hammer from the bonk,
Flanctuary, wow.
the bonk cave. Yep.
Yeah, looks like he's headed straight to Hype Cave.
Yeah, someone in chat said the king didn't take his blue potion in time, so they just buried it with him.
Yeah. It's kind of a slap in the face. If you had just drunk this, you wouldn't have died. It's kind of what always happens to me on Ganon. I'm like, I don't need to drink that blue potion.
So, looks like Alu putting that hammer right to use. Gonna go take a look at the Hype Cave. So, let's hope for the best here.
Yeah, he
So-
could
Get your hypes ready.
he could either choose to do Hype Cave and then sweep Southern Dark World, or he could choose to do Hype Cave and then check Pyramid and Catfish.
Well, he already did Pyramid.
Oh, he
And
did do Pyramid. They did Agahnim
He has
already.
everything he needs to do House of Darkness, but that's a pendant, I believe, right? Yeah, it's a green pendant. Or no, the green pendant was the ice place.
The best dungeon he can go in, Dark World wise, is definitely Thieves. I mean, there's 4 items in there. He has the hammer. He can get everything.
And he has a lot of overworld spots to check if... Oh, he doesn't have the mirror yet, so there are a couple he won't be able to check.
Hype Cave, not hype. There was half
Oh.
magic, so it's not a horrible Hype Cave.
So he's gonna see what old Stumpy has for him.
So keep in mind that Alu's still missing the mirror since he didn't go back to desert yet. Ooh, butter sword from old Stumpy. So, item-wise, Alu, since he's slightly further ahead in the item collection here, he needs Fire Rod and Ice Rod because Turtle Rock is required, and so is Skull Woods. He needs a Cane of Samaria, both for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. And he needs Flute to get over to Misery Mire. So, we still have a lot of items to collect. Plus the mirror, of course, which we know the location of.
Mirror is possibly not required. It depends on where the other necessary items lie, but
That's true.
mirror is required to grab a lot of items in the overworld, and Alucard's going to find himself a couple items short, and you know, if he's just looking for that one last item, and he hasn't checked, you know, the mirror spot south of the Grove, or hasn't taken the frog home yet, then those are items he's going to have to take a lot of time to check over again, since he came through here without mirror.
So Dark Magician is exhausting his search since he's missing Moon Pearl. There's not much he can check. We see some hammer dashing from Alu here. And Dark Magician will pick up the hammer soon, which is another way to access the right-hand side, considering he also has Mirror of Death Mountain.
True. Oh, clutch red cane.
Speaking of...
Dark Magician getting the hammer.
Yeah, Bo was from the sick kid. Remember, he uses that to send his homework to school or something. Whatever Carl said.
why did I say that? Why would I say that?
Yeah, it looks like Dark Magician might be heading on over.
Ooh, forgetting that there's a hole under that bush. Just dropping into the fairy fountain.
Alright guys, what's the trolliest item that could still be at Master Sword pedestal? Flute?
Well,
Ice
Quake.
Or Quake, yeah.
Quake if that's required. Ice Rod, good point.
Ice Rod.
Fire Rod even.
Oh, Turtle Rock's a crystal. Okay, I'm sorry.
Any of these items could be that our runners need could be at pedestal still. Apples, what?
Yep, there's apples in there.
What kind of thing to be in a tree is apples?
I
Honestly,
love how
I've never
much
heard of
we're
it.
learning.
I've never heard of apples inside a tree, honestly.
Another apple tree
Dude,
is the tree that stands alone on the left side of northern Kakariko before you like go around to the warp from the top.
The bottom right one, does that also have apples until after you fight Agahnim? Not the bottom right, but the bottom right of the top screen. I think it's got apples, but then it's a B tree after you kill Agahnim.
So we have a hook shot for Dark Magician. He's gonna make his way. Now he has Mirror, he has Hammer, he has hook shot. He can pretty much do all of Death Mountain up here.
Yeah, and he'll be able to grab that red tunic if he so chooses. He's got all the necessary gear.
And actually, since he's gonna pick up that lantern, he might find his way to go beating Tower Hera since it's a crystal dungeon.
Yeah.
So it's actually nice that this is working out. It's just a shame he didn't pick up the hook shot earlier. We got the magic cape for Alu, which, I mean, it unlocks an item or two. Some Super Bunny strats, which is, it's a shame he's doing this Super Bunny first.
Maybe he's setting up a portal.
The worst decision because you can just mirror at the top and do the light world stuff. But I don't know.
Oh, you know what? He's setting up the portal so he can just quickly do that after he's done in here.
Yeah.
Alright, so he will be getting Bombos, Blue Tunic.
Alucard getting owned in the Hellway.
By the Count Choculus. Another name from Cross Product.
Count Choculus.
Yeah, look at him.
You mean my boy Patrick Starr?
Yes.
He's just mad he lost his pants and he's just running around looking for him, right?
Why does he throw his pants at you?
Oh man.
Moon Pearl for Dark Magician and Flippers.
Oh yeah, good point.
Might not be necessary. If something important's in Swamp Palace, could be. So he's actually going for this bomb jump even though he set that portal up outside. I guess he'll do Spiral Cave and then jump down to the portal.
And that will work out since he will pick up Lantern in Spiral Cave. So overall, this is actually starting to turn out to be a fast seed, depending on where these last three items, if they're in trolley locations.
Dark Magician is a little bit behind, mainly because of a little bit because of routing and a little bit because he reset his game thinking he had a save point, but ended up having to restart from the secret passage. Good old Bombo strats. Let's kill Barry.
Barry?
That's his name. That's his honest to goodness.
Which one's Barry?
The jellyfish.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Look it up. And no, I did not edit the wiki before this run started.
We got Gary and
Dude, Gary,
Larry,
Barry,
Larry,
and
Harry.
Bob.
Alu should find his way down to desert soon. I mean,
I hate insect puns, they really bug me.
oh, blind.
Oh, so if you guys are a fan of my puns, just keep your eye out for the NPC in the south end of the tavern in the next randomizer version.
Yep. Alright, so Dark Magician. I don't know if Alu went over to take a look at what Turtle Rock was. We get another confirmation. Turtle Rock is done number 6.
Yep, 6. Andy had pointed that out earlier. And
Looks
5
like-
was one of the light world ones.
Yeah, 5 is a light world dungeon.
So let's see, could the Fat Fairy be holding anything interesting? She could be
Flute.
holding Flute.
Or possible Quake required for Misery Town. Alright, chat confirms that Crystal 5 is desert.
Yep. That's
Both
what I
of the
thought.
runners have boots and lantern. Will be able to finish desert when they opt to route back around there, but they may be holding out to try to do Misery Mire and desert in one clear. Dark Magician is going to head over to Tower of Hera and finish up. Does not actually need Hammer here, and he would need Hammer if he were in the light world. I don't know, he's going to do Spike Cave, so he does need Hammer. I stand corrected. They're looking for hearts, I guess. He's got Shovel.
Alright, that is a low count. I mean, the Cane of Burna is a little more efficient in here, but he's still going to take some damage.
I'm glad
Oh.
he didn't release that fairy by mistake. That would have been heartbreaking.
Oh, I thought he had Cane. He didn't get the Cane of Burna. That's interesting.
Oh, I don't know if he's going to have enough even with the fairy. Wisely equipping Hookshot, that'll save him some damage. Will it be enough?
That's enough. He's got it.
He'll have to maybe Hookshot to the lamps too.
Oh! Oh, we don't even know if it's Sankheart.
Got it! I wonder if it'll refill after he reloads the game. Probably not.
So he...
You know that one, Andy?
What?
Will Sankheart refill your health if you reset the save and quit at the right time? And then we'll refill it when you restart?
I believe no.
That sounds a little far-fetched.
Game gives you a static heart count when you save and quit.
Yeah. I was just wondering because your rupees will count up or down after you save and quit.
Also, you can do the Cane of Burna Cave with 6 hearts with the Fury Revival with very optimal movement.
So Alu is in desert. He's going to be able to beat this dungeon since he has Lantern. And he's going to find himself a mirror.
Yep, Mirror and Crystal 5.
Now, I do want to point out, Dark Magician did a save and quit in the Dark World, which takes him back to Pyramids since he has Mirror and Moon Pearl. And, well, actually, I think it's just Mirror. Mirror and killed Agahnim. That's the requirement.
Yep. Hopefully Alucard remembers the small key out of the big chest. He does.
Well, he has no choice.
Right, so that's why I was hoping he'd remember.
Dark Magician is making his way south to head over towards the village of Outcasts.
Yep, and remember, Dark Magician having Mirror for this portion will give him a little edge on Alucard. It'll be 2 items that he can check that Alucard was unable to check while he was passing down here. First one, he's got the Butterscotch. The first one being south of this forest grove here. And the other one being the Frog's house.
Oh, there's Ice Rod. So that is a slight advantage there.
Yeah, Ice Rod is required since we have Crystal and Turtle Rock.
Well, we're running out of trolley items in Master Sword.
But this is a location that could easily troll Alucard, though, since he already got most of the items in this area. He may be reluctant to come back and check it.
Yep. It depends on his route when he has the purple chest. If he walks it over to check Bombos as well, or if he just decides to flute over if he has the flute at the time. Piece of heart. Dark Magician says no thanks. Don't need that.
Nice dig dash. Unfortunately, you can't spawn items from all those holes. Only the last hole counts as a dig.
So it's actually sort of questionable when our runners will check the Master Sword pedestal. If they're still missing Fire Rod, they don't have that much of an interest to go up towards Skull Woods just yet.
Yeah. And Fire Rod could actually be at Master Sword pedestal.
Yep. Since they have Bombos, which is another way you can get into and beat Ice Palace, which is a pendant dungeon.
Alright, let's see what the breadsmiths have here for him.
Bombs.
10 rupees for 3 bombs. What a deal. So, in the vanilla game, you would take the Master Sword over to the Dwarven Blacksmiths, and they would charge you 10 rupees to reforge it into a stronger sword. Now, do you think that that's a bargain, 10 rupees to get your sword upgraded? I mean, it's pretty cheap, and it's a really nice upgrade. But on the other hand, Link's just trying to save the world.
Oh, you think they should do it for free? I think, isn't that the reasoning they give to say we have to charge something, so here you go?
I don't know, I've never played the English version.
Alright, so Alu picks up his 3rd crystal, while Dark Magician makes his way through Village of Outcasts, might find himself in Thieves Town soon.
The Smith's got to find a way to pay the rent, you know?
I mean, I guess they could charge him for the materials they use to reforge the sword. Like that diamond dust in that other game where you upgrade your sword. Or
Although, I guess
gold dust.
Their business plan is a little off since they have a whopping 1 customer, since there's only 1 Master Sword.
That's all they know how to do. Well, apparently they also make bombs, they make bread. I mean, what else are people in town gonna eat?
Bombs at Ether Tablet. Dark Magician has already checked this, but Alucard is going to head in the Tower of Hera now, and all we've seen in here, I think, was the compass and a small key.
Yep. Now he does have the lantern, so he'll be able to beat it. Alright, so Dark Magician is going to pick up his bow from the sick kid.
Yo, I figured out why he's got the bow. Because it's shaped like the letter D for disease.
So that's his way of telling people that he's sick?
Yeah.
You couldn't tell that he's just sleeping the whole time?
I mean, he doesn't say anything. No text box shows up when you talk to him. All he can do is hold up the bow.
So Dark Magician actually hasn't beaten a dungeon yet. He's dipped into a number of them, but like he hasn't had the opportunity to beat them. He's always missing like the 1 item. So, but now he'll be able to beat this dungeon and pretty much any other dungeon he goes into. Disease is clever. Oh, chat loves it.
Okay, so now, alright, this is even better. Right? In addition to...
I am face palming right now.
Listen, in addition to, you know, trying to provide reasons for why each NPC has each item. From now on, whatever NPC has the bow, we have to come up with a D word for that describes them. So, like, if Sahasrara has it, it would be like.
Be like,
I
darn
mean,
you,
we'll
Link.
come up with one if Sahasrara ever has the bow.
Okay. we'll just sit there and think about it. Fire Rod up at Tower Hera. Really a shame that that wasn't like downstairs instead. Alright, so we're running out. We only can hope Flute is in a trolley spot. That is our only hope. We know where Ice Rod is. But we don't know if Quake's required yet.
And we won't find out until one of the runners gets Flute.
I thought Dark Magician checked Turtle Rock, but I missed it. Buttersword making very quick work of Moldorm there.
Dispronounceable for Sahasrara.
Done. Alucard opting not to check Spike Cave. He has Cape and Hammer. He could have went in.
Oh, maybe
quick
he's
since he
actually
opened
rethinking that and wants to check it now. While it's fresh in his mind. Or... Yeah, I guess he already checked all the other items in Death Mountain, so here we go. Did Alucard scope out the ether on top of Turtle Rock as well?
I'm not sure.
So, maybe Alucard won't
did.
save and quit.
We don't know if Flute is the only item needed for Go Mode. There's a chance that Meyer requires Quake to get in there. So, we just don't know.
Alucard not
Ice Rod?
taking any damage. Ice Rod was the mirror item south of the Forest Haunted Grove.
Oh, wow.
One of the items Alucard walked past, but unfortunately could not check at the time. Alucard not actually taking any damage in Spike Cave, so we still don't know if that's Sankart.
The world will never know. Alright, Dark Magician gets his first crystal.
That mirror there
And
could be an
Negro.
easy place to forget, too.
I feel like Thieves Town is typically the first dungeon that's done in the randomizers. Not so much with the newer logic, but definitely with V6 logic.
So this is nice. This is probably one of the fastest ways to actually get to the fugitive.
But you don't see what's on the island.
Right.
So Aloe had to remember to take a look. There was nothing good over there, so it doesn't really matter, but...
So why is that hobo
Sankart
need a
was
shield?
in Moldorm Cave. So maybe, I guess we've already seen Sankart.
Just a piece of heart.
Looks like
So-
Dark Magician's gonna head on up to Tower Hera, since he can now completely finish it. Because he'll also get the Fire Rod.
All of the pendant dungeons are actually completable right now. They've got all the items necessary to do all three. So really, Alucard wisely going to go over to Skullwood since it's a crystal, 2 possible items, and he'll be able to check the Master Sword pedestal. So keep your fingers crossed for that wavy coin.
Oh jeez. Quake, and then... oh, the disappointment when they go to Meyer if it's required.
Yes, the remirement, as I heard another commentator say. And then, of course, there's also the Turtle Rock requirement.
So this is the second time Dark Magician's doing the tile room here. As you can see, it did reset. Alu making his way through Skull Woods. There's 2 unique items in this dungeon.
Big key get. So if there's no small key in this chest here, then Alucard made a good routing decision. Still opting to go down through the joke room.
Well,
But he doesn't need to get the key, since... Yeah, I would not be grabbing this key if I were Alucard.
the Joker.
So the only 2 keys that he'll need, he can actually get from the Gibdo right before Mothula, and under the pot with the crystal jellyfish. I like it when that crystal jellyfish bonks off of the bumper and then dies on a spike.
I've noticed a number of runners, especially when they're learning, they forget that small key. A bottle is one of the items here.
That Moldorm did not want to give up that bottle. Guarding that chest with his life.
We have Fire Rod for Dark Magician. So he knows he's just missing maybe 1 item.
He could go do Turtle Rock right now if he really wanted to.
But is that a good play?
Absolutely not.
Where do you think the flute is, Andy?
I'm gonna guess Big Chest Ice Palace.
Wow.
That's where it was in one of my races.
That's nice and trolling.
That was the race that we talked that me and Jeff commentated last night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, given the 3 pendant dungeons, Ice Palace is probably going to be the last one the runners check. So, if Flute is in any pendant dungeon, Ice is definitely the trolliest. People, of course, are hoping for the pedestal, so we'll see after Alu's finished if he remembers to go take a look.
Now the question is, would you check those pendant dungeons before you do Turtle Rock?
I'd do Turtle Rock first.
Same.
Like, you're spending a lot of time doing an optional dungeon, whereas Turtle Rock is required. You only lose the time that you have to take to traverse the Death Mountain again. Alright, second crystal for Dark Magician. Alucard almost at Mothula. He does opt to fight the boss first before checking the chest item, which I think is a smart move, since if Mothula drops the item, he doesn't have to open the chest.
Yep, since it warps you right back to the beginning of that room anyway. It's no big deal. I guess you do lose 1 door transition. But you also save a menu over to mirror.
Alucard getting his last bottle, I'm pretty sure.
2 bottles in Forest Temple.
I really think the randomizer expected you to get your bottles, that first bottle to get the bow, but I guess they could have found their way to here eventually. Looks like Dark Magician is going to go beat Eastern while he's over here. Alright, I think we're going to have the pedestal check, so cross your fingers, chat.
Me your fingers, chat.
Moment of truth.
Here we go, this is it.
Just a little piece of love. But, look, Ice Palace Flute is the new dream.
Could even be a cold stare flute.
Oh,
that might be a little better than a big key flute.
Because then you're checking every chest in Ice Palace and then doing cold stare.
Don't forget Alucard is also still looking for Ice Rod.
It's true.
He might be checking if you... Oh, yeah, I did not know you could kill those invisible stealthos with an arrow.
You can pretty much kill them with anything. They're there.
Can you just dash across the room and kill them both, or will you not kill them fast enough?
I don't think there's a time limit. Andy, do you know that?
Sorry, what was the question?
Can you the invisible Stalfos, area in Eastern, can you dash and just kill them?
Obviously not an NMG.
You could, but it'd be slower. Just because
Slower
of the
than
dash.
pot.
Yeah, well, you can't kill them both with one dash. I don't think. You have to walk to the left half of the room to get only 2 to spawn. So you'd have to take 2 dashes.
Okay.
But I've honestly never tried that before. Typically, people go into Eastern before or after getting the bow, and it's faster to just kill them with the bow.
Yeah. Alright, Dark Magician is on Armos. Alu is cleaning up the overworld. He still has to head south of the grove in order to get ice. So hopefully he remembers to do that.
Flawless Armos fight. Well done. Dark Magician's actually showing off a good amount of well-practiced execution. And Alucard gone in toward the ice rod, it looks like.
Well, he's gonna do the Brent Smiths.
Yeah, and probably Gary. But this means he'll likely grab the ice rod on his way to Gary.
Looks like I'm not sure where Dark Magician's going right now. I think he was going to take the portal over by Palace of Darkness, but then I guess remembered that it was a pendant dungeon. No magic powder for either of them. Alright, so Alu is walking it over since he can't flute. This is the only thing he can do. So I suspect he'll also pick up ice route on the way.
Hobo had a coin, or a shield. He had the red shield. Probably
everyone
to
in
block the...
chat, and there it is, the red shield that's currently yellow.
Alucard making a good call here. If I know Alucard right now, he'll be shouting, "The value!"
It's true. And that's the thing, when they're running by themselves here, he can just, talk to himself as much as he wants since he's just broadcasting the game sound. When we play our official or unofficial races, we're not mentioning when we're getting good stuff, and that's sort of a shame.
Yeah, I think the game's more fun and a little more social when you can talk over voice, but I mean, the nature of the tournament is such that it just wouldn't be feasible.
Even in like casual races, that's why I don't usually jump into voice calls, because I like to talk out loud and like answer questions in chat about routing decisions and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, there's the flute.
Oh man.
Dreams are almost dead. If it's Quake, we still have a chance for a troll.
Yeah, he save and quit here. Probably actually meant to just use that. Oh no, he has to unlock the duck first, of course.
Yes, he can't pull a jet. He has to actually go get the duck.
I almost forgot to unlock the duck. What's up, Desert Octopus? I almost forgot to unlock the duck in my run today. I think I was actually all the way up, up on the screen with the portal north of the village. I was like, wait a second. It's called the flute because Nintendo of America didn't think Americans knew what an ocarina was.
Yeah, and so then we get the N64 game.
Hey,
quickly learned.
Hey, no. Link's Awakening.
Is it called an ocarina in there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay. Cross product, our resident expert on Link's Awakening, apparently. Alright, here we go.
Where's Link's Awakening randomizer, guys?
That might be doable. That game's broken enough.
Zelda 64, the Flute of Time. Ether is required for Meyer. So Alu is now in go mode, but
Alu checking these chests for literally no reason at all.
well, I guess he's hoping for silvers.
I guess.
Well, he's here.
I mean, he knows he might have a time advantage on Dark Magician just because of the reset from earlier. So maybe he's like, I have a little time, I'll just go do this.
Yeah, there are a couple safeties that might be worth getting at this point. Silver arrows, like you said, or even powder, bug net would be good. So it would be worth the investment if one of those items were there. He also was pretty close to those chests.
It's really a question of when Dark Magician's gonna decide to do the Bombos tablet, and you typically do that with the purple chest, I think.
Yeah. I hope he's not waiting for a flute to do the purple chest, although matter.
So at the beginning of the game,
Bombos.
New Life, Dark Magician accidentally reset his console rather than do his save and quit because he forgot that he didn't save yet, and he was right back at the beginning of Escape. The flute was at the Bombos tablet, right next to Gary.
And Alucard did actually offer to restart the race with a fresh seed, but Dark Magician declined. So again, all the runners in this tournament are showing great sportsmanship. It's really good to see.
Quick work of Landmo by Dark Magician with the fire rod.
Alright, so that's 4 crystals for Dark Magician. Alu has a slight lead, but he also has an item lead. That's the key thing. He doesn't need to look for any more items.
As far as we know, well, we know that Dark Magician only needs the flute, but he doesn't quite know that yet.
Not have to step a single foot inside any pendant dungeons at Trace.
I think
Alucard.
Yeah, going the slow way, I think. The long way, I should say.
Yeah, I've eliminated this room completely from my routing through Meyer, actually. Since all that's in there is a small key, which you would have to use to get out of there unless you walk all the way back around.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to the right, there's a key under the pot.
I'm actually curious if it's faster to mirror if you go that way than it is to walk back. Oh, he hits the orb, that's why.
And then you can... I see. That's cheeky.
I still feel like it might take a while, though. We need to, like, have someone on our stream that's, like, ready to, like, crunch these numbers and do, like, try out these different strats to see which is faster.
Yeah, and we'd have to have somebody with consistent execution, like Andy doing it. Of course, Andy would have just hovered across the pit.
It's like, please, we can't use that.
Which pit am I hovering?
All of them.
All of them?
Misery Mire, bypassing the big key.
Oh, yeah?
You need the big key to get into Vitreous's room now?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So the ideal seed for me is big key on the bridge and then hovering across from bridge to bridge.
Wait, would you actually do that if you got the big key there?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Nice.
I've actually had 3 different occasions where I've gotten the big key there and had a flawless first try hover across the bridge gap. It feels great.
Flute is again at the Bombos tablet.
So Dark actually having access to the flute is just a little ways out of the way. It's quite a long time commitment just to go check Bombo. So you usually group it with either checking the purple chest or before you do Swamp or something like that.
I mean, once he finishes Skull Woods, he might have to just go do that, since that would be either that or Turtle Rock for him. And so checking a few quick overworld locations. So he might go and do that.
Whoops, meant to go through that way. So, Andy, what do you call those little guys that come out of the bombable wall there? Misery Mire.
Oh, the
Idiots.
mice.
I hate them.
I call them crumbs. They just look like little crumbs.
I don't remember what they're actually called. Let me check.
Oh, let me go edit the wiki before you do that.
So Alu does have plenty of practice doing Aralist Ganon. So even if he doesn't find silvers anywhere, he should be fine.
Yep, Alucard putting in a lot of runs prior to version VT8, and older versions of the randomizer, the only way to get silver arrows would be to actually visit the Fat Fairy, which takes a good deal of time. So a lot of the older randomizer runners are used to doing some of the tricks that the newer runners might not have practiced with.
It was only pretty much before the tournament that they added the silvers into the item pool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of how they did that. Good job.
So yeah, the little black specks that pop out of the bombable walls are called Zoros, and the bigger ones are called Babusus.
So almost like bomb chews, but not quite.
So crumbs is what
Exactly.
you're saying.
It's like the jellyfish are called berries, and the little ones that spread from the red ones are called beeries.
Or like, who are the guys in Zelda 1? The Zot, I think, and they come from Zol? Something like that? The big blobs are called Zol.
Languin. I call them Mario guys.
No, they're... I'm telling you, the big blobs are called Zol, I think, Z-O-L, and the little ones are Zot, Z-O-T. Zol and Gel. So, yeah. So they end with the same letter.
Alu decided not to pick up the red mail. Not that I think he would, but... there it goes.
I always just called any enemy like that in any game. I just called them blobs.
So Dark Magician making his way back. Maybe he's going to take a look at north of Dark World, yeah. Since he has all the items that he can to check it. Mario, yeah, you heard that right. I pronounce everything wrong, and I think the case in point is the fact that I say Mario.
And Orkiana.
No, I don't say that anymore. I was a kid when I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce
you
this.
were like 18.
I was kid.
Didn't you ever see the episode of Doug? But did you see the episode of Doug where Skeeter made an ocarina out of stale bread and brought it to show and tell? Or not? It was a talent show.
I can't say I ever saw that episode, unfortunately. Big
Doug
Doug fan as I was. It's okay, my grandpa used to pronounce spaghetti gazpacho.
What?
Gazpacho, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing, but as a kid,
You got tomatoes.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever see that movie with the vampires? Like the funny one that's like the reality show with vampires.
Is there ever a movie with vampires that isn't actually funny?
I thought you were talking like Hotel Transylvania or something.
No, it's called What We Do in the Darkness, I think. Or What We Do in the Shadows. And like the one vampire calls it Biscotti. It's really dumb, but it's like really funny the way he says it, and like he almost cracks up at himself because he just thinks it's hilarious. I don't know anyone like that in real life.
So Dark Magician's checking Catfish. Looks like he's gonna do the overworld checking first before he dips into any more dungeons. Alu's making his way. Here's some Mario guys right there for you.
Those are actual Mario guys, and I believe in the wiki even they're called chain chomps. So,
Well,
how
that's
do
what
you?
they are.
So you think Catfish has those 20 rupees left over? You think that was his change from when he bought his flippers from Zora?
I don't think the catfish needs to buy flippers.
How do you think he got in there?
So I think what happened is other people went to him and threw rupees at him, and he's like, "No, I don't got flippers for you." And so he collected them.
Oh, bunny beams. Those are actually called bunny beams. Okay, I won't spoil it, or I will. I did recently look at the wiki and see official names of a lot of enemies, so that I could write puns about them.
What, you dissing my boy, the Hokuboku dude?
Wait, is that really a name?
Yeah, the Pokies are Hokubokus.
Oh, really?
All right, Cross. Someone in chat has a question for you. What's the lore behind those pipes in Turtle Rock?
Pipes?
Those.
They're left over.
was good.
This is an entire Mario dungeon, please. You got Pokies in there, you got chain
true.
chomps, crumbs. Come on.
So I do want to point out that Alu opted not to take a look
And
at the
Triclide is the boss. I mean, come on.
So,
how else is snake form of Trinex supposed to get over the lava besides thin tubes, okay?
That actually makes sense. You got me thinking. But
I just blew your mind.
Yeah. But does Trinex exist as like 3 separate entities, or was it only like destroyed down to that? Alucard taking an interesting route through this room. Never seen anyone go that way.
For
So
all we
if I
know,
said-
the fire and ice head's just a machine that you end up exploding, and then all he actually is just a snake.
The way I feel about Trinex is he can be a hothead and he can be an ice guy, but in the end he's a solid individual.
I'm out.
So Alucard is looking for the last small key. He did technically pick up an extra small key from the Pokey, Boko, whatever it's called. But otherwise, he would have to look in the big chest. All right, Dark Magician is picking up his flute, so he's pretty much going to be in go mode once he takes a look at Meyer.
Oh, he did not switch to Fire Rod. But he won't get any of that lag stuff on the ground.
Like stuff. Is that the official name?
Yeah, I mean, Trinex breathed ice on the ground and there was so much lag, I swear my game just froze.
I got that one.
I think Andy actually left.
Alright, so Alu has his last crystal. He's going to head on over to Ganon's Tower, unless he decides to take a pit stop at the Pyramid Ferry, because, you know, he can. He won't, but he could.
We got some flute dashes from Dark Magician there, it looked like. I don't know if his audio is playing though. We don't have audio on the commentary end.
So real quick, Alu is heading into Ganon's Tower, so it's time, chat, to get your guesses in. Which chest number, 1 to 22, has the big key? 14 always wins. Come on, guys, what do you
14
think?
Bob's chest.
Yes, 14 is Bob's chest.
I'm gonna go with the hot 21 as usual.
I'm highly expecting Alucard to go right side.
Well, why would he? And you can only go right side if you pick up 2 small keys. You really don't want to do tiles first.
Why do you need 2?
Oh,
You
no,
need
one.
one.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought this was a locked door.
Gosh,
He needs
learn to
one.
count.
Roops. He could hope for an account for up to 1.
Alright.
I thought maybe he'd go into the tile room and hope for a small key there.
Oh, we're not going to see Bob, though.
Oh no, Rip Bob!
Yo, get owned, Bob. Alright, so we're at 3 locations so far.
And that has a long hover. That's pretty much like frame perfect, isn't it? To do the hover.
Sort of. It's a frame perfect button release, where you can only have the dash button unpressed for 1/60th of a second before you have to press it again.
So what's your trick? You like use 2 fingers or something like that, or you just have like a technique?
So I'm left-handed, so I hold the controller in my right hand with my palm on the L and R button side. I jam the face button side of the controller into my thigh. Use my right thumb to control the D-pad, and then I take my index finger and my middle finger nail side down and rub it across the A button.
Wow.
All I heard was a bunch of voodoo. Dark Magician did actually mirror out of here.
So Alu up
Maybe
to chest
he did,
number
maybe
9.
he did go into the northwest room and get that key, so maybe we will see which way is faster.
Dark Magician
Nah.
heading on up into the main room of Meyer. Starting to look pretty good for maybe right-hand side big key. I mean, there's like a 25% chance. So we have Bob, 3 Armos chests, and then it's on the right-hand side.
No Bob.
Nope.
Robbed of Bob.
So, Dark Magician right there, he could have went to the right in order to quickly get... What?
It's going for the vanilla big key chest, it looks like.
Okay, right. It was not in Bob's chest, so Alu's heading down to fight Ice Armos. His arrow count looking really good, so should be no issues here.
Fortunate because he doesn't have silver arrows.
Maybe Dark Magician hoping for some silver arrows to make the Ganon fight a little faster.
Alucard being careful to finish off the 2 Armos Knights on the left first, because when the final Armos turns red, he regains all his health back. So he didn't want to waste any arrows there.
Oh, we have a right-hand side big key.
If you picked 17 or less, you're wrong.
Oh.
My 21 is still in the game. Could very well just depend on the order he decides to open the 4 chest room.
Yep. You always want to open the top one, left one last, because it spawns a bunch of holes in the room. Right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I'm sure
Yep.
many runners learned that the hard way when they started having to come over here.
I learned that by doing commentary. I learned the easy way by watching somebody else.
Interesting fact about this room is if there's a bomb moving on a conveyor and you drop another bomb, the second bomb actually stops, or the first bomb stops moving on the conveyor belt.
Oh, there it is, the very first chest that he checked. That's 18.
Hoping to find those silver arrows while he's in here.
Nope. No silvers, Alu. Just keep going. Hourless Ganon.
Alright, Dark Magician just making his way out of the Crumb Room, heading up to Vitreous.
Yeah, Andy joins the loser's couch with me and everyone else in chat who didn't guess 18.
Whoops.
Yeah, so if there are no silver arrows anywhere, which we found out from a Plando actually, Ganon says, "Did you find the silver arrows on planet Zebes?" Zebes.
Really?
However it's pronounced, don't take, whatever. That's where they are.
All I can say is I can guarantee, based on the different transliteration from Nestroid, that it is not Zebes.
Yeah.
I say Zebes, and I accept Zebes as a valid alternative. But I don't accept Zebes because in the NES version it spells it with a TH at the end instead of an S. So it's transliterated differently, and there's no way that they're trying to pronounce it Zebes. But that's just a theory.
A game theory?
What game theory?
Alright, so Dark Magician is making his way up to Turtle Rock while Alucard makes his way through the gauntlet. And he does have plenty of health. I have a feeling Alu is going to open all the chests up here. And I don't know if that's to troll us, or if it's just to look for those silvers.
I think Alucard will definitely at least check Moldorm's chest. Maybe not the Helmasaur.
Here's the dream. He checks all the chests up here, right? He doesn't find silvers. He gets to Ganon. Ganon's like, "Did you find silvers in Ganon's tower?" Because they're in the big chest. That's what I want to see.
Or tile room.
Okay, one of the two. That's fine.
Big chest or tile room.
And then Alu's like, "Nope, I gotta go get him."
Dark Magician wants to... Oh, I'm right. That's Crystal.
So Turtle Rock's still a long dungeon to get through, just because of the amount of rooms, the block ride that you have to go through. So it'll take some time, but luckily he only needs to find the big key and then enough. So actually, it's funny that this dungeon, you're pretty much blocked because of small keys, which you don't usually see.
Yeah, a lot of dungeons are front-loaded with small keys to prevent soft locks, like Palace of Darkness.
You know what's weird is that I can't pronounce anything correctly, and yet I can say Sahasrahla. It's the only thing I can get right, and no one else gets that name right. What even is this world? So if the runners can take a look at the map in order to find out which dungeons are crystals. Plus, you can tell by the music that plays while the runner is in the dungeon.
So Alucard skipped 2 chests in the last couple of rooms before Moldorm. Like I said, I imagine he will open up this chest.
Oh!
Wow! What?
Even?
Unbelievable.
Oh my god, he's gonna talk. That is like
The dream!
the dream. That is the dream. Everything I've said bad about that chest.
Can you believe that I wouldn't have gotten silver arrows in this seed?
Yeah, but you'd still like clear Ganon really fast, so.
Yeah.
So how much time does that save getting silvers here?
Almost a minute.
Even with Buttersword.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Buttersword doesn't actually change anything in Phase 4. It's still 12
because the spin does the same damage as the slash, right? So a swing or a spin from Butter Sword is equivalent to a Tempered Sword spin?
Yep.
Okay.
It's just the slash, it's like a 3 or 4 frame window instead of, you know, literally the freest spin attack you'll ever see.
Wait, are you saying that Butter Sword has a bigger window for fighting Arrowless Ganon than Tempered Sword does?
No, it's the same window. It's just you could also choose to slash with the Butter Sword, but the slash is a 4 frame window compared to however big the spin attack window is.
I see what you're saying. So you have to deal Tempered Sword spin damage no matter how you choose to do it.
Yep.
Alright. We got a breakfast commercial from Ganon.
I love a breakfast that's made specifically for my own insides.
This is begging to be eaten.
Has some cape straps from Alu.
Yeah, and with half magic and now with the newly found silver arrows, why not?
Dark Magician almost at the bottom floor of Turtle Rock. I mean, given his reset and everything earlier, he's not that far behind Alu. But it looks like he is going to go back to the big chest just because he didn't get a small key from the roller room.
Oh wait, he did find them.
What? Oh, he forgot to switch on. Are you watching Alu stream directly?
Nah. I was reacting to Ganon's quote when Ganon said, "Did you find the silver arrows?" And I'm like, "Ha, he missed them." Then I remembered he didn't.
And that's it for Alu. GG.
Alucard with a dot done, clocking in with an official SRL race time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 34 seconds. GG's on.
Alright, so, go ahead and start getting your bonk guesses in for Alu. He had boots sort of early, so, what was it, Old Man, I think, gave it to him, so...
Yeah, Old Man with the boots.
For some bonks.
Fellowship of the Ring. Random Tolkien reference. Oh, 9,001 bonks? I think it only counts up to 99 though.
Oh, Dark Magician taking a death. Does he have a fairy? He does not. Actually,
Sacerdotal?
It's a good thing he opened that big chest so he can
I'm
have
looking
that.
up Sacerdotal.
Okay.
Relating to priest or the priesthood. Or it can be pronounced sacerdotal or sacerdotal. That makes sense.
What are we talking about with spins here? So Ganon in the first 2 phases requires 12 hits from the Tempered Sword or 6 from the Butter Sword. Keeping in mind that a spin of the Tempered equals a Butter Sword slash. And then in the last phase, Ganon takes 12 hits, spins, I should say, sorry, and 24 with the Master. Alright, so safety straps from Dark Magician. Gonna open that cave. Hey! GG, Alu!
Yo, yeah, GG. Oh my goodness.
Dude!
Congratulations.
Dude, freaking silvers, man!
Yeah, the payoff.
Oh my gosh!
Everyone's gonna check Moldorm 2 now. Forever.
We were looking for silvers. I just did not expect them to be in that chest. I honestly wanted to be in like the big chest in Ganon's tower because we knew you skipped it.
Right,
But
right.
no,
Like the only chest
Moldorm.
I skipped. Well, there's also mini Moldorm chests that I skipped too. Yeah.
Skipped one of the Helmasaur chests too, I believe. You picked up the
Oh, that's
one
what I
closer to
meant.
the
Mini
door.
Helmasaur, not mini.
Well, you did also skip the room with the bubble and the bunny beam.
The
That
bubble.
chest.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Third room directly
That one
before
takes
it.
a little more time, so I'm just like, eh.
So yeah, so how do you feel about this race?
This freaking scene, dude. I got tricked, but then I didn't get tricked. Kind of. I don't even know how I feel because I could have got gloves and I could have got boots and Titan's mitts, but that still didn't unlock Moon Pearl. So it was like super weird, but it would have been nice if I had that stuff for basically the first desert visit.
So Dark Magician, since he was catching up some time, he went up to kill Agahnim a little earlier. But more importantly, he did that trick in Desert Palace where he grabbed a key from later on, which meant he was able to get Mirror and then head up to Death Mountain. The big issue that he had though was that he did not finish the fetch quest to get the hook shot. So he went up there and then he wasn't able to do anything. And so he had to backtrack. He went into Eastern. So if he had continued with the fetch quest, got hookshot, he actually might have been ahead of you for part of this race.
It felt like the game just like kept punishing me with the locations of items. It was like, all right, let's go to Eastern. Oh, hey, there's that sick kid with the bow. Guess you should go back now. And, then it didn't give me anything from beating Armos. Then again, I went to the pyramid, and I was like, all right, we're gonna skip Agahna's cave. It's just one item. How bad can it be? All right, let's go to the pyramid. I found a book. This is pretty good. And then I go to Agahna's cave, and I'm just like, my face goes numb. Like,
yeah, but it's okay. Killing Agahnim was required.
Yeah, you probably were relieved to see the hookshot at the witch's hut.
It was, but then like once I went up to Death Mountain and found like boots and Titan's mitts, I was getting really worried because I was like, "Oh God, boots!" And then
you could have had boots for.
And then boots could get you hammer, but then you couldn't get to the Dark World with Moon Pearl. So I got lucky in that respect that like Moon Pearl was locked. Oh no!
No, wait, you did.
No, yeah, it would be locked because Book was on Pyramid.
Right.
Rip Bob.
Yeah. It was just crazy.
So
it was really sad to hear that he console reset. I was like, we can do a different seed and like we can start a new one. Because I feel bad that like he probably lost a good 10 minutes or something.
So I do want to point out real quick, Dark Magician is opting to go right first since he picked up the keys. I guess maybe he felt like since it took you a while that it's in the right-hand side.
Yeah.
So, you love trolley seeds. This was a bit trolly.
There were a bit of trolls for sure, but the thing is, him getting Mirror early probably made his later item collection a lot better. I had to go backtrack to find a lot of the Mirror spots.
We were actually worried you would skip Ice Rod. Oh,
really? I was saving that circuit for once I got Mirror because there was a lot of Mirror items out there.
Not only Ice Rod in that circuit, but Flute.
Flute as well, yeah. It was a hype circuit there, for sure.
Alright, so after that race, it looks like that puts you at 2 wins for your group. Dark Magician already has 2 wins, so he'll have 2 wins, 1 loss. So that's actually currently a 3-way tie in your group. But there's still 1 more race for each of the people in a tie, so we don't know which way it's going to go yet. But
and I have 2 more races myself. Yep, I have to play against Weapon and Triscorp, who have shown some good skills in this tournament so far. So I'm a little anxious, but we'll see.
You're gonna enjoy watching if you decide to watch this spot again and all of Cross's puns.
Oh,
something to look forward to.
Nice.
I almost walked out.
Yeah, Andy, I legitimately thought Andy left the Discord at one point.
19 bunks for Alu, so whoever guessed 19 did any... Oh, someone did guess 19, so congrats.
That might be my best item menu time there.
Oh, very nice. 243.
A sub 3 is always amazing.
I'm surprised. I was getting bodied by like everything in Ganon's tower too.
You did have a lucky a fairy. What was it? I think it was it. Yeah.
Agahnim.
Agahnim.
Bodied in like every place.
So Dark Magician also had half a heart, but he didn't die. He actually did Oko strats. Well, I mean, not really, but he was able to avoid getting hit.
And
Whereas
he
you just
actually
Oko
completely
strats
died.
right now. That's what he's doing. Oh no.
Does actually die in the bowling room, unfortunately.
I do want to remind our viewers, make sure you give our runners a follow. This is a nice, exciting race from them.
I imagine Dark Magician was pulling ahead on the item count, like in the mid game.
He made some plays. Like he knew he had to catch up a little bit. Like he found Ice Rod earlier, Mirror earlier, so there was a chance that he could have stumbled across things before you did.
If he just faces these Gorias, he actually can block their attacks with his mirror shield while he's shooting at them, so...
Yeah.
Let's see. Picks up the
Alucard
fairies.
just speedruns Hex. There you go.
There you go.
He plays Link to the Past in his spare time.
He
That's
used to be a good Super Metroid runner. And he's still
Wow.
pretty good.
I would say Alu is an expert at randos.
I just enjoy playing randos. That's what it really comes down to. Is I just have
Yeah,
fun playing randos.
they really breathe fresh life into a classic game. I mean, I was just thinking about this yesterday. Link to the Past is probably the game that I've played through the third most out of any game as a kid. First two being Earthbound and actually Link's Awakening, probably number one. But Link to the Past, I mean, top 3 games that I played as a kid, and it really just turns it into a new experience, and it's like a whole new game. I think that's what's so appealing about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why I love just randomizers in general. I try to play a lot of different ones, but I think Link to the Past has been my favorite. Just like all of the active development work from the team, you know, Carcat and Christos and Vitor and Desi, just like putting their heads together, putting together a lot of different modes for the community. If you haven't tried it out, it's definitely worth your time. Like, if it seems intimidating that, you know, a lot of the players in this tournament are, you know, breezing through it, I mean, like, it takes everyone a good 4 or 5 hours their first time playing through a randomizer.
Yeah, I don't think I even finished a run until my 3rd or 4th time playing.
Cross, that was your shtick. Like, we never expected you to finish. And then one time you did, it's like, what? I finished my first run. Like, I went back, it took me 2 days, 4.5 hours total. I went back, I finished.
Actually, was it my 2nd or 3rd time doing a randomizer? I like just finished Turtle Rock, and this was back when Turtle Rock was always the final dungeon that you did. I had just finished Turtle Rock, and I was heading into Ganon's tower, and it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was feeling really groggy, and I accidentally copied over my save file.
Oh, yeah.
I meant to back it up because I didn't know if I would somehow soft lock, because I had never finished one before and I didn't know how it worked. So, but I couldn't read the Japanese text, and I accidentally copied over my save that was like 20 minutes from finishing.
I think my first completed randomizer was like a 240 or something like that.
Yeah, but you run the game, so...
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how little I actually knew about dungeon chest locations or something.
Yeah, it is
it's
way
not
different than even
not
100%.
Not a big all chests runner.
Unfortunately, no.
So
No,
I
this
think
is the category, 100% all chests. It's distinct from 100% in this game.
Well, that used to actually like be the norm for Link's Awakening. Was 100% was all depletable chests. That's the only Zelda game that I've seen that actually be a category, and then it got nixed eventually.
Oh, I thought that there was actually a 100% all chests.
I thought it was just
Category
collect a
for-
bunch of seashells and.
It is now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the seashells stop spawning after you get 20, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, he gets silver.
There we go. It's the silver arrows. It's the aggros.
Nice. Run validated.
Everyone checking that.
But also worth. Like,
Such a stupid chest. I don't care what you guys say. I'm never opening that. I think
Well-
Abe's with me on that one.
if we had been neck and neck there, dude.